Hello everyone. Due to a very hectic week schedule and poor planning on my part, I had to put this video out in kind of a rush. So, not gonna be nearly as good as my other videos, particularly in the sound quality. So please, bear with me, forgive my stupidity, and enjoy. Hi, Internet! And welcome to You're Gonna Regret It Modern Children's Movie Review with your hosts, Fighting Leaf and Husky the Wolf. Every movie has a particular gimmick that helps people separate it from every other movie ever made.
Whether that's a plot element like destroying an evil ring, an aesthetic choice like making everything ever into Legos, or the novelty of seeing all your favorite video game characters in one world.
Gimmicks are therefore not a bad thing. In fact, they're a necessary thing. But then you have those movies that try to offer you nothing but a gimmick. Enter the live-action celebrity movie. These movies try to sell by having ridiculous premises and celebrity names plastered across the box art and trying to appeal to the whole family.
The only problem is that these movies tend to really suck because they got no actual good story ideas. They just wanted to capitalize on some celebrity's popularity as quickly as possible while they're still relevant.
So, in honor of this new movie, Central Intelligence, let's take a look at one of the first forays into Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson exploitation, simply known as The Tooth Fairy.
Time to put a grown man in a tutu again! Let's get into it!
One viewing later. The movie was tedious, boring, and had terrible pacing.
Yeah, reviewing this movie was pretty much gonna be a rehash of our nut job review.
Oh, but don't lose hope yet, good viewers. We're not losing our chance to see a grown man in a tutu just yet, because after all, they made a sequel.
What?
Starring Larry the Cable Guy.
What?
It's time for The Tooth Fairy 2. I am Fighting Leaf.
And Husky, I'm here too.
The leader-in-chief
Of this show and not much else.
put together by twists of fate so great it's all beyond belief. Don't you give me no grief. That loop on canine his suits me just like who you can be seen. Review kids movies with no beauty, not groovy, while brooding with moody me. That's how it's gotta be. Fighting Leaf and Husky, I'm Husky. Fighting Leaf and Husky, I'm Husky. Fighting Leaf and Husky, yeah, that's me. Sure, they like them now, but that ain't gonna last. To minimize the damage, we gotta work fast. This is what we gotta do to help the kids to get it. Now listen to my review, you're gonna regret it. It's Husky by my side and I keep on my chest. Make real bad kids movies with help from the rest. I am Fighting Leaf, the kid movie chief. To give me no grief, but you're gonna regret it. We waste no time getting to the reason anyone would watch this movie. There's Larry the Cable Guy playing a guy named Larry Guthrie. Makes my life easier. Pulling up to a big raffle giveaway at a bowling alley.
This is his girlfriend, Brooke, played by Aaron Butte. And this is Beauregard Billings, played by David Mackey. He's a big ball of sleaze, and she's an idiot for not recognizing this fact.
Would you mind putting these in, dear?
Good luck, Lee.
Our hero. Anyway, the raffle happens to be run by Sleazeball over here, and he's clearly after the affections of a woman who is in a relationship.
Great, the hero and the villain are terrible people.
No, Larry's not terrible. He has a very different problem. You'll see it before too long.
But if he doesn't drive me to my niece's birthday party in the next 2 minutes, all bets are off.
Uh-oh, Evil Von Sleazy Pants got an idea. So Mr. Bad Guy goes up to announce the winner of the raffle, and when it's not Larry's name, he lies and says it is. Why would he do that?
See, Larry is supposed to be going to a kind of birthday party right now.
But he stopped because he wanted a place in the raffle.
And this doesn't please Brooke at all, so after he wins, well, this is what he has to say for himself.
She's 1 year old. She ain't gonna know I'm there.
It's not about the party. It's about you keeping your promises.
There's One thing that little kid'd like would be knowing I won that muscle car.
You just don't get it, do you?
No, he does not. Yeah, he's pretty much Mater from Cars 2. Great.
In order to receive the car, though, Larry has 3 tries to hit the dreaded 7-10 split here.
Miss, perfect, because obvious is obvious. And then, through the power of nachos, he... Huh. Not gonna lie, did not see that coming. This movie's gonna be really stupid, isn't it? So exactly 1 year and 15 minutes later, yeah, he really is Mater. He's got the hick persona, but he's really good at auto repair. I don't actually know if that plays a significant part in this movie, though.
What does play a significant part in this story, though, is the fact that Brooke broke up with Larry and is about to marry Beauregard very soon. And it also happens that Beauregard is running for mayor. This motivates Larry to do something really stupid.
Stupid ain't in my vocabulary.
There are several really obvious jokes in there, but none of them are worth it.
Larry goes over to this preschool, elementary, I don't care, and finds Brooke again. Also, he still thinks he's famous for making that bowling shot a year ago, and thinks this kid wants an autograph.
Sydney, do you have any idea who this man is?
The janitor?
Okay, Dwayne Johnson in the first Tooth Fairy movie was a colossal, arrogant jerk, but at least he had the celebrity of both Major League and Minor League Hockey to back him up.
Larry's just like, I did a thing once! I'm famous! Get her done!
Apparently, Beauregard was a sleazeball even in his youth, but Brooke assures Larry that he has changed, even though he clearly has not. But the real issue is that Larry hasn't grown up at all since they met.
This is the kind of lady who needs to date a guy for 10 years before she realizes they're scum.
So yeah, this guy is not an adult. And like Gohan from Dragon Ball Z Abridged, Brooke needs an adult.
And what she's got is...
Who wants a stress ball? Stress ball, there they are!
Brooke, I'm not even 10 minutes into the movie and I'm already running out of ways to tell you that you have horrible judgment.
Aren't there supposed to be some shenanigans happening right now? Ah, here we go. Larry pays some kids to throw water balloons at Sleazeball when some random kid shows Larry a random picture of the Tooth Fairy for random reasons. Oh yeah, the Tooth Fairy.
Right, that was supposed to be a thing in this movie. I had honestly forgotten at this point. So the kids throw their water balloons at the guy, he gets wet, and Larry tries to play it cool by talking to this kid about the Tooth Fairy or something.
Ugh, and he's doing that thing where he just asks why about everything. Just skip to where Larry says there's no Tooth Fairy, okay?
True love is a fairy tale. Just like the tooth her. No, there is a tooth. Listen, hey, did you hear that story about Tooth Fairy? Once upon
Well, that was needlessly dramatic.
This movie's gonna try to make us take this kid's crushed dreams seriously at some point, isn't it?
Yeah, that's how these things go.
Where you going?
I'm telling on you!
Get back!
I'm telling on you? Kid, he was trying to undo what he was saying. Plus, he's a big, hairy grown-up.
He's that one overly sensitive kid who makes grown-ups think that children are delicate little things that can't handle any kind of stress or challenge in their lives. Thanks a lot, kid.
That man told me something bad about the Tooth Fairy.
Kid. I was a sensitive kid growing up too, particularly a very angry one. But this...
Her. No.
Yeah, I'm not gonna take anything you do from here on out seriously.
In the first movie, Dwayne was a jerk who deliberately crushed children's dreams, not just about the Tooth Fairy, but about anything they ever set out to do, because he failed in accomplishing his own dreams, and thus believes that dreams are bad because they give you unrealistic expectations. That's the kind of thing that can mess a kid up.
But this is just a very naked plot device. He wasn't being malicious, he was just talking without thinking, but he caught himself. For most kids, that should have been enough.
But then we wouldn't have a movie now, would we?
Whenever you can use that line to describe a problem in a movie, that's a very bad sign. And he's seriously rewatching that clip of him winning the car.
Loser! You are a loser! But then he has a flashback to happier times with him and Brooke eating chicken wings.
You know what happens if you eat too much chicken? You turn into a chicken.
Plot point?
Then his pillow starts glowing. You know, Dwayne got a shiny summons from under his pillow too, but this is just straight up radioactive.
Department of Dissemination of Disbelief. Department of Dissemination of Disbelief. What does that mean?
That's fancy talk for you're wearing a tutu now! Ladies and gents, the reason this movie was made!
Cheese and crackers, she was right. I'm a chicken.
No, you're an idiot.
So he screams, eats the camera, and is in the Matrix. Okay, there seems to be a little bit of downsizing from the first movie.
In the first film, Tooth Fairy World was this big, sparkly office building with fairies running around all over the place, run by Julie Andrews.
Here it's some kid named Nix who's not played by Julie Andrews. Larry talks about chicken some more until Nix shouts at him to shut up so she can tell him how awesome she is.
Then he goes back to talking about chicken.
Done with it. No more fried chicken, baked chicken, roasted chicken.
Did you get it? He said chicken! Laughed on you!
Nuggets, fingers, tenders, tacos.
Oh my gosh, can we get to something else, please?
Chicken and a... So you're a tooth fairy, now what?
Welcome, disseminator of disbelief.
I regret everything! Now it's time for cartoon exposition.
Apparently, belief really is magic, and when children believe in the Tooth Fairy, their teeth contain that magic. And the Tooth Fairies harvest that magic when they collect teeth.
But since Larry made one kid not believe in the Tooth Fairy anymore, he'll be turned into a Tooth Fairy whenever a kid places a tooth under their pillow. And if he doesn't collect that tooth, Nix here is gonna nix his most precious memory.
Metro County Miracle. You mean to tell me you'd erase the Metro County?
Can and will.
It's about here when I figured out that his most precious memory is some time he spent with Brooke and has nothing to do with that inane bowling thing he won.
Any brain-dead, mouth-breathing, numbskull, knuckle-dragging moron would know that by now!
That was a little bit harsh, Husky. But completely true. So Nix gives Larry the tools that he'll need for the job, and then he wakes up. All in all, a great deal shorter and less painful than the suiting up scene from the first movie. Small victories, I suppose.
But now he's off to prove that he's a better man than Sleazoid. He does this by joining the after-school program with her, which wouldn't be a bad plan except for the fact that he is an idiot and a dumb idiot.
Of course, she sees right through him immediately and doesn't hire him.
I had to let my entire staff go. So that's the only reason I'm doing this.
I know.
Because I'm desperate.
And I'm in.
really desperate.
I'm it.
Right, because we wouldn't have a movie otherwise.
That's twice we've been able to say that, people! So he starts to do the thing. And it's complete freaking chaos!
Predictable, yes, but the timing was actually quite good.
There, a joke that didn't suck.
So, how is he going to fix this problem?
Hey, I know what we can do. Let's go play lawn darts.
Isn't that dangerous?
Let's go hunting.
What are you, crazy?
Let's have us a genuine snowball fight.
What?
You can't have a snowball fight in Florida, you big dumb idiot!
Oh, Larry has a way.
Just fill some pantyhose with flour, add safety goggles, and you got yourself a hootenanny of a time! That actually looks like fun.
Too bad it breaks so many rules to do so. And cliche shot of authoritarian type getting hit with stuff.
She rightfully chews him out for being an idiot, fires him, and oh wait, movie's not over yet, so she gives him another chance. Great writing. I absolutely believe that would happen.
And now it's time for Larry's first outing as a tooth fairy.
Let's see how that goes! So Larry transforms and is in the tutu again. In the first movie, Dwayne was only ever in the tutu once. Did test audiences really just crave more tutu? Give us more tutu! Oh, tutu!
And it just got weird. Anyway, awkward moment, neuralizer dust, moving on.
And like in the first movie, he has to drive to places where he has to get the tooth from. In the first movie, however, it was because Dwayne Johnson had a bad wing and couldn't fly. In this movie, it's because shut up!
So he tries going into the house, but comes across a guard dog. And cliched writing 101 states that it'll be something other than a vicious guard dog for the sake of comedic reveal.
I'm thinking either a teacup chihuahua or like a baby seal or something.
And survey says...
What? Oh, you're just a little pig!
Wow, this movie's even dumber than I thought it was.
So, with the help of product placement and sleeping dust, Larry gets past the piggy and... Are you serious?
Yes, he stops to watch the game like an idiot. Are you seeing a pattern here? Oh look, he gets caught and it's really awkward. Big shock.
Next morning, however, Nick shows up at his trailer and starts to pinkify everything! That monster!
She is very unhappy about how he failed to retrieve the tooth last night, and she threatens to remove his memory again. Also, his whole trailer is pink now. Cool. Anyway, he goes to the after-school program and is actually turning out to be rather competent this time, bringing juice boxes for the kids.
Then he sees Gabe, that kid whose hopes and dreams he crushed, and... No movie. You played up his existential crisis for laughs earlier. We are not gonna take him seriously now. Then he trips.
My burritos. 5-second rule.
The next night, he's a fairy again. So he drugs the pig and sneaks back into the house to get the tooth.
He manages to resist the siren song of monster trucks on TV, but... he gets the tooth after a string of fart jokes. Moving on.
The next day at the after-school place, we see Larry basically telling the kids the story about his previous adventure. Only the names have been changed to protect the innocent, but not really because they haven't been changed because no one is innocent!
All things considered, Larry doesn't seem to be doing a bad job at this. At least until he accidentally encourages them to loosen their own teeth. This movie's basically a cartoon, isn't it?
Man, the animation sucks. Then we get treated to, oh my crap, this is the same freaking scene from Cars 2! And any number of other terrible kids movies. Freaking crap!
Well, he's out of the tutu now. He was also given Light of the Firefly berries to help...
What is that?
Movie. Just don't.
So he gets the next tooth, puts it under his own pillow to send it to wait. If they could just zap the teeth away to the fairy world place from under someone's pillow, why in the name of crap don't they just zap it away from under each kid's pillows?
Because then we wouldn't have a movie. I do have to say this though. This film's pacing is a great deal better than the first Tooth Fairy. Every scene there dragged on, trying to be funny, but just utterly failing. This movie shows us Larry's progression both as a person and as a tooth fairy in steady and short doses that keep the action flowing.
Oh look, there's Mr. Sensitive! He still can't seem to find any real joy in life after the whole tooth fairy stupidity, but Larry gives him some art books since he's always drawing and painting stuff. And along comes his unbelievably fat dad!
Husky, tone it down. Yeah, he's big, but it's not played for laughs or anything. He's just a big guy, and actually, that's something I can respect about this movie. It doesn't play this particular thing for laughs. It just shows it. So, there, I complimented it. That's a good thing that this movie did. Oh look, Sleazeball is back. I was wondering about him.
That evening is a wedding shower, and he invited Larry for some reason.
This event is pretty much just a stunt for Sleazeball's campaign for mayor, and she really can't tell how shallow he is, huh?
Whatever, fairy shenanigans! Oh look, the tutu's back! Need more tutu! Dance! Dance in the...
Yeah, you know the drill. Brooke is humiliated, blah blah blah. What, it's not socks this time? Yeah, forget what I said about the pacing. This is awful. But at least this helps him save face. Somehow.
So he goes off on his next mission, stupid things happen, and the girl wakes up. And we get what's supposed to be a heartwarming scene about a girl whose parents don't pay as much attention to her because she's got a baby sister now or something.
It's not terrible, I suppose, but it just comes straight out of left field. I guess it's to show how Larry's maturing as a character, but it doesn't really leave a lot of impact or feel necessary.
Leave, I'm getting bored of this!
What, the movie?
It's very bleh. Can we get to something interesting or plot relevant? This movie has very little of that.
You're in luck. Something plot relevant is happening right now. The after-school program needs funding, and Larry comes up with an idea.
He sets up a little art gallery of all the kids' drawings and stuff to raise money. It works too, but then, schlunk, this guy shows up.
How many of these paintings you need me to buy?
I need to buy more smugness. Next is another scene where Brooke and Larry bond, and it's not super interesting. Just that Sleazeball is a sleazeball, and Brooke should freaking see that. Oh, and Larry is being trusted with the money from the fundraiser, and Sleazeball is plotting. If it seems like we're rushing, it's only because we are. We really don't have anything funny to say about these scenes, plus I wrote this script while kinda behind schedule.
We know we're not being funny, we're under a lot of stress right now!
And speaking of stress, Nix arrives again, and after too much talking, tells Larry to go on another mission right when he gets all the stuff for the program.
But Sleazeboy follows him, and when he parks his car, he goes all grinchy on us and steals everything. This displeases Brooke and,
I decided to talk about this movie instead of the first one because the first movie was really boring and unfunny, and it was just gonna be a rehash of the nut job jokes again. This was supposed to be more interesting.
Well, it is, but not by enough.
But it's not really horrible like the nut job was either, but I know I won't be able to give you guys a really good, funny review if I'm not more engaged than I am. People, I know that it looks lazy on my part, but I want to give you guys the best possible videos that I can make you. And I know that I'm not going to be able to squeeze any laughs from this particular movie, even if I try to go all the way to the end. So, I guess the most merciful thing for both of us is just to give you my final thoughts early again.
In the future, we'll be a lot more careful about what movies we choose to review for you guys. If we can't make it good for the entire length of the film, then we're just not gonna bother with it.
The big question here is whether or not it's better than the first movie with Dwayne Johnson. And the answer to that is yes, but that's not saying much. Its pacing is much better, and it seems to be going for a kind of Caddyshack feel, with short, seemingly unrelated scenes pieced together to form a greater narrative. But outside of that, it seems very formulaic, and it's not actually that funny. Yes, it learns from some of the mistakes of the last movie, but it doesn't get over the hump of mediocrity. Avoid the first one, and don't ever watch this film more than once.
Sorry guys, we really gotta go now.
Yeah, we were caught disseminating disbelief because we told Jerry J there's no such thing as the Pokeball Fairy. Mapleton Drive. Alright. As long as I don't have to wear the tutu again. am the Kid Movie Ninja. This here's a Patreon shout to Jordan Mathis and Steve Sharp. Hey, do you like that picture in the background? Well, check out my Patreon page to find out how you can snag your very own copy of it during the month of June. Later.